back to the vlog. As you guys saw yesterday, I got the car back inside with the help of my brother and my sister-in-law. Of course, we ended up ripping off a fender. What else is new with this car? It doesn't like to move on ground that is not flat. But that being said, we have a big goal list. I just wrote down our to-do list for this season. So it's already March 1st. I don't know when this will get actually uploaded, but it's already March 1st. Season's coming up quick. I have a series in mind that I want to do. You guys probably already know it. I'm not sure what the dates are going to be. I don't even know if it's actually happening this year, but I'm pretty sure it is, and that's going to be the Gambler. Obviously want to do whatever Casino Royales there is as well, because I just love that competition, and I would like to win it before I stop doing it, regardless how far this car goes. And what we need to do is rip out all this interior, because we're going to bring the car to go get caged. The car will have the full interior with the cage, so it's going to be a little bit more complicated. It can't just be like a cage kit's car where I could have just threw the cage in and welded it all up. I know if I was going to handle it myself, it would take way too long, and I just don't have the time for that, and I want to have this car ready in time, which I already don't know if I'm going to, which kind of sucks, but I just waited too long to get started on this car, and is what it is. We're going to go from here. A little update on the S14 from the last time you guys have seen it. I'm still waiting on getting a oil pressure gauge, and once I have that, I can put some oil in this engine. We can start it. I'm just going to keep it as is with the subframe out, I think, and hopefully it doesn't rattle around too much, because I do have it supported underneath, and then I have the engine hoist still hooked up to it. I'm pretty positive the reason that we were having issues is the shim was on the wrong side, probably getting stuck. I'm praying that's the issue, because then we got to actually pull the whole front of the engine apart and change the oil pump. That won't be fun. That's just a little update for that car. So that car will be getting done, just waiting on parts. So I figured perfect time to start getting started on this car, because we are far behind.
Think about a knife, slowly cutting your throat. Let it think about a girl, slowly putting on your coat. Lipstick on her lips, holy shit, she close. Let it think about you dancing, but she's stepping on the toes. Now I realize that all these guys are seeing a fucking dream. All these hoes and all these bloody drinking fast like it's some lean. Why you dancing me, bitch? You don't wanna date, so you talking shit. Bitch, put me on the best, I'm that shit, no stress. Say shit, God bless, say shit, they always want more, and even less. Chocolate chip cookies looking faded, watching movies, weak body looking naughty. Dark waters, stinking muddy. Fuck with hoes, come too close, get wrecked like hoes. Oreos, rate them hoes and plenty shows. Really close, sniff this shit, they overdose. Less most, holy shit, this is so pumping banks. Rubber range, keep it low. Tryna change, ayy, stone. Lot of blame, oh we fucked you up. What a shame, why you tryna egg? Can't do nothing.
Alright, so we got most interior out, but I'm just kind of starting to look at things and realize like there is some more work that needs to be done than what I was anticipating. So we still have all the sound deadening. I'm kind of back and forth right now. I'm not sure what I want to do, because I could either keep it in or I can go all out and then clean it up entirely, because we do have an interior. So it's like the base of the car would look better, because like right now it looks disgusting. Like it looks terrible. So I'm just like, all right, I can clean this up, take this out. But then I do lose some of the sound deadening, which is nice because we do street this car. I'm kind of not sure. So that was one problem, right? Second problem. I kind of forgot about this with this car, that this side of the car has been crashed, because it does get on alignment rack and zero out completely. But I kind of think that I'm good, and maybe somebody already did straighten it out. That's why you see this gap here or something. I'm not sure. But the more I thought about it last night, when I remembered, because I moved the car yesterday and had to pop the trunk to put the battery in, the more I thought about it, like, I'm about to put $4,500 into this car just for the cage alone. And it's not like all the other parts where I spend money, I could always swap it over or something. I'm going to spend this money on this chassis, and I'll never be able to pull it back out and get any use out of it. Unlike everything else that, like I said, I could put into this car, spend a bunch of money on it, and it could go to a different car. The cage is a little different because it's going to be part of the chassis. So then that was problem two. Now we're going to move on to number three. Number three, we have all these different wiring harnesses. Now, the reason I never removed this is because I think it has something to do with automatic trans, because this car used to be an automatic, got manual swapped by somebody before me. But I just left it in because I didn't know if I started messing with it, if it was going to cause issues or whatnot. Next thing is we do have a ground on the chassis there too, so I don't know what wires that grounds. Never pulled apart the wiring. And then we do have all this big, hideous OEM wiring running around the floor, running all through back here, which might be fine with the cage entirely, but my biggest worry, honestly, and where everything stems from, is this and this is what we need to move. Now, this harness is attached to those things, and there isn't like a lot of free play to put it somewhere. So originally my game plan is to put it up out of the way, because the intrusion bars are going to, the cage will be here, the intrusion bars are going to go to the floor somewhere around here. So we need to get this fuse box and stuff up. I might need to extend the wires in this harness, because if I don't really know where else I can go with it. You know, this already isn't attached because it's tight. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I'm gonna have to really look into that. We have one more problem that I was not aware of with this car yet. But if you guys remember, I kind of crashed into somebody that spun out at E-Town. So last time that happened, you know, we crushed in the door, we all know that. When we're looking at it, you can see that it's got a kink here and it's kind of sticking out over there. Think about it, you can kind of see the paint's cracked a little bit. See some here. And then now that I'm looking in here, you kind of see it cracked here. So that tells me that this definitely moved. You kind of see like where the ECUs has moved out to. Even this, you can see even this tab's kind of ripped off. Not that I even use that tab, but I don't know why it's ripped off like that. Like I said, this looks good. Dash is where it's at. It kind of just looks like it might have got pushed in a little bit there. I don't think that's going to affect anything suspension-wise, chassis-wise. So I think we're good there. And I honestly think I'm going to bring this car like completely bare. No body kit on it, because the body kit does need some work. I'd like to clean it up, fiberglass, some things that need to be fixed. For instance, like the fender that got ripped off yesterday, and kind of get the car a little bit cleaner for the season. I thought it was going to be clean and simple, and it was going to be in and out job, but I'm starting to think that it's going to be a little bit more involved than I was planning. Not bad, but a little bit more involved. No way, dude. I gotta drop the shock for this. Jesus Christ. There you go. Little jack. Get those things low. We got that baby out of there.
Riding in the bands, now it's done. Talking all this shit off the few shots, bitch, you're done. White on white, boy, I'm bringing styles. I'll be running like that 100 miles. Nah, I ain't talking miles, bitch, I'm talking days. Boy, you're doing wrong, you're supposed to change your ways. Flexing with the chains, it's all about the brain. You ain't tryna give, all you do is fucking gain. Think you know the pain, feeling like it's rain. Nah, I bet you saw the steps you've taken out the lane. Miss me with this shit.
I'm still brainstorming what I'm gonna do with these wires. I don't want to start cutting stuff and then cut something that the car needs, but I don't know. So we're taking it piece by piece. I'm still trying to decide too if I want to take all the sound deadening out or not. So very undecided on a lot of things currently. But all right, so I think this is a computer for the transmission. The way I'm gonna figure out if we need it or not is start the car. Oh, we don't have the battery hooked up. Hold on. All right, now we got some power. Everything on, let's see what happens. Probably nothing, but so doesn't look like we lost anything. Everything's still working as it should. Except for that belt. So we didn't lose anything as you saw with unplugging that. So that means everything to here we don't need. Let's cut this stuff, get rid of this, keep the ground, and see if the car starts and runs again. That's the only thing we can do. Let's see if this thing starts. So we're looking good so far. Fans work, water pump works. Just heard the power steering kick on. I can see the controllers working with the green flashing light. We got dash lights, so let's see if she starts. not the best to rev the car that cold like that, but so I don't want to rev it like that when it's cold, but I'm just trying to make sure that it cleared up and didn't have any sort of mist. But before I head out today, because I do have to go to work tonight, we still got to get to the gym and all that good stuff, so unfortunately I can't go crazy today. I want to get this headliner off, so we're gonna pull that off, get the rest of the interior off, and then way, this is an S13 rear view mirror. You could still get these brand new, and it's a little upgrade, and they're black instead of gray like the S13 ones. So a little information for you guys. Try to get this out in one hand. Let's go without fucking it up. There we go, there we go. Oh, we lost a little foam piece. Let's see what we can do with this harness. I'm not very optimistic with it right now. I think we're gonna have to lengthen that bad boy up. So yeah, for tonight, that's it. I gotta get out of here, so I'm gonna clean up a little bit, and then we're gonna pick up again where we left off, and hopefully tomorrow. If not, it'll be another day, but. All right, we're back in the shop, so I come with some good news. So I ended up going online and looking at some of the other S13 cages that Action Fab has done, which is where this car is gonna go. He does a ton of roll cages. I've also seen him do a ton of roll cages with interior, so I figured that's the best bet to go to make sure that this thing looks good, everything's cut right. So he's gonna actually cut the interior to fit as well. All right, so the other day, I don't think I filmed it at all, but I kept getting a hint of piss. Like, it smelled like piss in the car. I'm like, it's kind of weird, must be some other smell, whatever. Didn't really think much of it, and then I saw this like insulation that was sticking out of the whole of the car. Now, I thought it was part of the interior because I honestly don't know what I pulled out of there. Oh, I thought it was the carpet. Okay, I thought it was part of the insulation on the carpet. So this hole right here is filled. I just pulled it out, not thinking about it, and you can see, obviously that was a rat's nest. So some rat, when it was parked in the back shed, must have found its way through probably the door gap or something in this car and made a little home literally inside my, whatever, this is my door jamb rails. So we're gonna have to vacuum that out. Literally, I was smelling it. I was like, why does this car smell like piss? I don't understand. Like, I never peed in my car before. That would be why, right there.
Say you'll be gone and I'm doing a chase. Like an old day, now you're all in my face. Fuck what you say, but you're still on my base. Better for you, I'll be counting them days. Took me a lot just to keep up the pace. I'll be a god, I'ma follow my ways. I'ma be humble, you'll stay in your place. Fucked up a case, you a fucking disgrace. Say you'll be gone and I'm doing a chase. Like an old day, now you're all in my face. Fuck what you say, but you're still on my base. Better for you, I'll be counting them days. Took me a lot just to keep up the pace. I'll be a god, I'ma follow my ways.
Only one casualty. This little clip right here. Not too shabby. That's a move right there. Get one of these soft guns, get in there, just slide down, pops them right up. No casualties on this one, except the pre-existing one. That was already close.
I'll be rounding the bag, doing my shit, give a fuck about the check. Doing my shit, got no fakes on the deck. Stay in my way, I be slashing the neck. Really don't need to have shit on my wrist. I'll be doing this shit, not shit out the Chris. Numb all the way on emotions with this, but I just be killing them, hearts no assist. Say you'll be gone and I'm doing a chase. Like an old day, now you're all in my face. Fuck what you say, but you're still on.
So we ended up needing to take all this apart because we need to get to these two bolts here to get the last bit of the dash off, and that should be it, and then we should be able to pull this thing out of here, which might be interesting with the handbrake, but who knows, we'll figure it out in a second.
Be a lot just to keep up the pace. I'll be a god, I'ma follow my ways. I'ma be humble, you'll stay in your place. Fucked up a case, you a fucking disgrace.
Dash is finally out, so now we can take a look kind of at what we're working with here. Obviously I clean up a little bit. Yeah, so this is a mess because like you guys have seen on the Goomba channel, if you checked it out, I took the entire engine harness and tucked it, or I took the whole chassis and engine harness and tucked it under my dash. Now what does that mean? is that I raveled all that stuff up and tucked it under here at the fuse box and everything. So there's a lot going on, plus the wired in gauges and the wired in E-pump. There's a bunch of stuff going on. It's a mess. It's definitely going to be super cool to clean this up one day and go with like a wiring specialties harness, or if I decide to kind of make my own, which I don't think for the first time I will. I think get a wiring specialty harness, learn from them, kind of see what it's supposed to look like, and then I can kind of one day work on my own. I'm gonna make some sense of this, and then we'll start working on clearing the floor. I know it should come right around here, so that's like the sound deadening and stuff we're gonna have to get off is those areas, and then whatever's in the back as well. So let's clean up some of this stuff. All right, so we got everything moved out. If you look back there, right there, move the ECU. All I did was tuck it up under the harness a little bit more. I didn't make any mounts yet because we are switching to Mega Squirt, so I don't know if I could use those brackets, but if not, I just need to make a little L-shaped bracket and it'll hold up there nice. For now, I just have it zip tied because, like I said, we're switching Mega Squirt as soon as we get this car back, so I don't want to waste my time doing that. But what I did do is I took a look at the photos that Action Fab has on their page and to see like where he goes with the S chassis for the base plates and all that good stuff. So I marked out one so you guys could see where we're going to be removing sound deadening, and then two just so I can visually see it and not have to keep looking back at different photos. So this right here is our first area, so you can see that harness is plenty out of the way. He really only uses like this little piece, but I want to just make sure it's nice and clean all the way around. So we're going to take a little bit more away from every spot. Then we come back here, and then we remove from here down to here because he has a little plate that goes from here, and I think he welds it. I don't think it wraps around, but I'm pretty sure he welds it to like right here, and then this line here. But like I said, we're gonna take away a little bit more than we need to just to be safe. And then one thing, when I look at all of his hatches, this piece is completely gone, so I'm assuming he has a weld remover, which I don't have. So I don't want to cut this super far down and make it look super trashy. So where you guys see the red outlines where I'm gonna cut away, I think that should give him enough room, but if not, if he's got a spot weld remover, he can remove the rest. Because usually when I see his photos, this whole thing's gone, and you could see that piece in the corner there. So I think he cuts it here and takes all the spot welds off around there and goes straight there. But I'm gonna cut that because this is like the back support of the rear seat, so we can keep it cool. If not, he can remove the rest. So yeah, everything on the same side. We're gonna match it. So I'm gonna get working on this stuff. Hopefully it comes up nice. It is old. Some spots it was coming up nice when I was working on the car before. We'll see how this goes. Of course, I don't have it here, but this is what we're gonna try to use. So I do have chisels, but of course they're in my other toolbox at my house, not here. So we're gonna go with this. If I need to postpone it and come here with chisels to take it out quicker, then I will, but we'll see how far we get with these bad boys. Perfect. That's what we like to see. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. I do think some of the reason why this car sound deadening pulls off easy is because there's some rust forming underneath. This car is far from sealed very nice. I think this side we're pretty good, but passenger side behind me, that's the side that's been in a wreck, so that side doesn't seal very well. A lot of water gets in there. You'll kind of see rust on the other floor, but one day we'll pull this car fully apart if it makes it, because chassis are kind of wearable items. But if this thing lasts a long run, we'll pull it apart after we really finalize setup that I really like, and we're not going to be messing around cutting things up anymore. We'll take it apart, clean everything really good, reseal the hole underneath, paint the interior, all that fun stuff. But for now, hopefully she lasts. That's one side, sound deadening off already. Move to the front. Hopefully it removes that easy, because that was crazy. So this did not go as easy as the back at all, but we got it. I had to use just a screwdriver this heavy ass hammer, so I couldn't really record any of it, but my forearms are dead from trying to swing that thing in a tight space. But oh wait, there's one piece we gotta get off still. But yeah, got this side done. I'm hoping that's as easy as this side. I'm sure that's gonna be just as rough as this side, kind of how it's going right now. And then we'll get to cut in the back. This side I feel like might be kind of easy because there is rust under here, so we'll see. Oh yeah. I'm actually really surprised there wasn't near as much rust under that as I thought, just by the looks of like where it's coming up at first. I thought it was gonna be real rough, but really not bad at all. It really is just like some surface stuff, and it's only down in here too. Like obviously that's kind of where water will sit, but like this car honestly is a very, very clean car for what it is. The biggest issue is just that it was crashed over here. That's literally the only problem with this car. Other than that, rust-wise, it barely has any. Obviously, it needs a little bit fixing, but not much. Super clean. So I'm mad pumped about that. But now we got all this, so clean up all this garbage, and we'll get to cutting. Honestly, moving right along today, I'm pretty fucking pumped because, I don't know, I feel like I have not been winning lately. I feel like I usually get beaten down pretty bad and just like zero confidence in getting things done. So this feels good that we're banging out this car. Like we are literally almost ready for the cage. All we gotta do is mount this seat up, and then we gotta take these door cards off real quick and bottom little holders off because the cage is gonna go tight against right in there. But you guys can see, I only filmed cutting off one side just because it's repetitive. I'm kind of hoping that he takes these off because they don't look that good there, but I didn't want to separate the two pieces because then this piece is pointless and there's no way I was cutting that off clean. But for now, that's cool. And the one thing that we talked about earlier in this video is I was worried about the rear of this car not being straight. So I just confirmed that we are straight, so that's a huge win. Because that's something I always worry about this car. And like I said, I didn't want to dump all this money into this chassis that I can't get back out of it if the chassis isn't straight. I did just to confirm that it was straight. One, before I cut the brackets off, I measured from the shock bolts to the brackets, which aren't the most accurate. It was just something extra. I measured from this metal piece here on the strut straight back. I forget exactly where, but actually, yeah, it was right here on this body line where the like pieces stamped in for the taillights. Same thing on this side, exact same spot, and then I cross-referenced them this side to here, that side to there. Exact same spot on both the strut and the back of the car. And I was expecting to be a little bit off because who knows, like, if the rear of the car has been crashed or whatnot. So I expected maybe a little bit, but like at least give me some sort of hope that it was somewhat straight, and they're actually dead on. So that's huge. Strut's not messed up at all, which is good because my original plan was to cut all this floor out. We're gonna go rear fuel cell. We're gonna put it over the subframe where the battery is. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the battery yet. I gotta figure it out. But eventually we're gonna go fuel cell here, and then I want to delete everything in the back here. I want to do a rear clamshell eventually, but we're gonna put this car through its paces before we worry about that. Put this thing into a wall a couple times, and then we'll worry about that. But that's a future plan. So I always did want to cut this out. And now that the cage will connect it to, this is going to be a sturdy point of the car. So I don't really have to worry about this moving in the future. All this stuff can get crushed all at once. I don't really care. And I'm thinking next year we'll do fuel cell because the fuel tank is right under here, which is a terrible spot. You can literally see it right there. It's not the best spot, especially like that's a very common area to back into the wall. So realistically, I'd like to do a clamshell, have a whole rear crash support and some give to it so we can bury it into the wall a little bit and be safe. But not this year. That's not what we're worried about. Now we're gonna move on to getting the seat mount because realistically, that's a lot. Or we're gonna get the door cards off, and then as soon as we do the door cards, let's get these door cards off. Let's get that stuff done. Get a seat in. We're pretty much good for the night. That's huge. I can take the body panels off, but I'm just rambling on. So these plates here are bolted on to the back here. couple screws, so all we gotta do is take those off. We're gonna pop off the other door, get these flipped around, put that one back together, and then put the seat in because that's most important. Both cars are ready to go back in. So, as you can see, it's pretty ugly when this isn't here. But thank God that the door bars will come right in here, cover all this up. You won't be able to see any of it. Obviously, when the door's open, you'll see it. It's the only thing that kind of sucks, but it is what it is. It'll look cool inside the car, so I'm happy about that. First mock is in. So I actually test fitted it with Colton's seat first because we're using Colton's bracket. I didn't order mine yet. So this is just to get the cage fitted because the rules are is you can only have a certain amount of angle. Like you can't be below these. So the cage has to go a certain height. So that's why they need the seat in there. So this way they get the height right. So we got it fitted. This is my second attempt with actually my seat this time. So first attempt with my seat, second attempt with it. So now we're in the car. I feel a little high, but I've always liked being higher in cars anyway because you kind of see over the hood. Let me turn this out of your guys' eyes. So I feel good with the height. The only thing that I don't like about the height is that we are close to my legs, but we do have adjustable columns. So obviously I'm not going to drive like that, but we could drive up a little bit higher. Now, the reason I'm not a huge fan of this either is because this is kind of your line of sight, but really not that bad. So if need be, if my hands are getting caught, I can always adjust up. Realistically, this is the most comfortable. The column's like pretty much straight. I'm going to try to slide over the seat a little bit more in the bracket because I feel like we're a little to the left. Other than that, handbrake did a good reach. My arm still has bend at like able to grab it. One thing we always look for, at least for me to be the most comfortable, and I know this is like a kind of a standard for racing, is you want to, like when you position your seat, you want to be able to reach your wrist over and fold your wrist over the steering wheel. If you can do that, you're in a nice position where your arms are nice and bent, like when you're at whatever, 9 and 3 or whatever they call it. And then another thing that we look out for that's super important is you want your legs to have a bend. So even this, like I wish I could be a little bit closer, but like this isn't bad at all. Like I'm not overextending my foot at all. Like even if I was flat footed, my leg's still not straight. So that's not terrible. The gas pedal is pretty perfect. This way I can bounce back and forth quick. No problem. So those are the things that you look for when you're trying to get comfortable in your seat. Like I said, if I could be a little bit lower, that would be perfect. But I do like the visual because I can kind of see over the hood where now when I'm on someone's door, I'm looking this way or I'm looking this way. I could like see over where my car is. So I really know where the position is, which I've always liked in racing.